Good morning, everyone. This is Netra from CSC Data Science Department. Today, I'm back with a new topic that is ancient Indian architecture and the Vastu Shastra. So, before getting to the topic, just know about the introduction of this. Introduction to ancient Indian architecture, that is, it is a rich blend of various styles influenced by the religion, culture, and the geography. Key periods includes the Maurya, Gupta, Cholas, and Mughal empires, each contributing a unique elements. The architecture often reflects the spiritual and philosophical beliefs of that time. Actually, our ancient Indian architecture is combination of or mixed with the religious, cultural, and geographical knowledge and beliefs. Like peoples, those who are in that period, they are ruled by the peoples like Maurya, Gupta, Chola, and the Mughal Empire. They contribute a huge to our country and our architecture. Next comes the key features of the ancient Indian temples. Like what are all the main key aspects or the key features that they consider to build any Indian temple at that ancient time. Temples are often characterized by intricate carvings and elaborate sculpture depicting deities and mythological scenes. The layout typically follow the square or the rectangular plane, symbolizing the universe stability and the harmony. The shikhara and the mandapa. In Kannada, we say it as mantapa or architectural elements that serves both a functional and aesthetic purpose. Basically, the layout of the temple are in the square or the rectangular plane, which symbolize the universe stability and the harmony. To achieve or to take the or to uh, bring that stability and the harmony in the universe, they construct the layout of the temple in a square or the rectangular form, and the main shikara like the top of the temple and the mantapa, the base of the temple, are construct based on some spiritual knowledge and mindset to bring both the temple in the aesthetic and the functional purposes. And next comes the influence of Buddhism and the Jainism, where before we get to know that how the Indian temples are built, like how the Hindu temples. Now it comes to the Buddhism and the Jainism. Buddhist architecture such as stupas and viharas emphasizes the simplicity and the meditation. The Buddhism and Jainism temples just mainly they bring up the simplicity and meditation in the temples. Jain temples are known for the detailed marble work and the celestial themes, often dedicated to Tirthankaras. These religions contributed to the spread of architectural styles across the India, influencing a local designs. Like mainly their concept or mainly their thought is to bring the simplicity and the meditation and to achieve some Indian styles across the local designs. Next comes the Mughal architecture. Previously, we learnt about how the Hindu temples, Jainism, and Buddhism are constructed. Now we'll come with the Mughal architecture. Mughal architecture is renowned for its grand scale and the intricate detailing often blends the Persian and Indian style. The Mughal architecture is combination of both the Persian and the Indian style. Iconic structures like the Taj Mahal and the Red Forts are the example or exemplifies the symmetry gardens and use of white marbles. The mainly the Red Fort and the Taj Mahal are constructed with a huge garden and with the help of a white marbles. They brings the very unique construction in the part where the incorporation of water features and the calligraphy highlights the significance of the nature and the spirituality in the design. Where the we can see the watermarks and the calligraphy highlights in the Taj Mahal and the Red Forts, which brings a very spirituality or spiritual mindset in the design of the Taj Mahal and the Red Fort. Vastu Shastra, like just we'll come with the overview. Uh, Before we studied how the Indian temples are constructed and the architecture of the Indian temples at the time of ancient times. Now we know about how the Vastu Shastra like depends in our country or in our India. Vastu Shastra is an ancient Indian science of architecture that emphasizes the harmony between nature and the human dwelling. It provides the guidelines for the design and layout of building to enhance the prosperity and well-being. The principles of Vastu Shastra are rooted in the cosmic energy and the five elements of the nature. Basically, this Vastu Shastra, like while we constructing any house or any buildings, we'll first go with the Vastu. If the Vastu are correct, then we'll uh, proceed for the further construction. The main purpose is to bring the harmony between the nature and the human dwellings. Next comes the fundamental principles of the Vastu Shastra. What are all the fundamental principles that involved in a Vastu Shastra? The cardinal direction plays a crucial role in determining the placements of the room and the structures. Each element must be balanced to create a harmonious living environment. The concept of the Vastu Purusha Mandala is central to planning space in accordance with the cosmic energy. The main goal of taking this Vastu Shastra as important is to determine the placements of the rooms and the structure, and to bring all the main five key elements to control, like earth, water, fire, air, space. We need to balance all these five harmonious living environment. And the concept of the Vastu Purusha Mandala is like a planning accordance with the cosmic energy which is there on the earth. Next comes the Vastu Shastra in residential architecture. Homes designed accordingly to the Vastu principles are believed to bring the health, wealth, and happiness to their occupants. The placements of the main entrances, kitchens, and the bedrooms is carefully considered to align with the natural energy. Common practices include using a specific materials and colors and resonate with the different direction. The main principles is that to bring the health, wealth, and the happiness to the occupant, those who are occupying that house or those who are occupying that building. And uh, mainly the which are the building parts that is constructed according to Vastu Shastra is the main thing is kitchen and the bedrooms, which we need to construct or which we need to place carefully. And we can for that constructing building, there is a Vastu Shastra which depends on the color and also the resonant frequency also. Next comes the Vastu Shastra in a commercial architecture. Like before we studied about in a homes or the building, now it's come for the commercial architecture. The Vastu Shastra is also applied in the design commercial space to promote the productivity and the success. Just to promote the productivity and the success, we look into the Vastu Shastra while in a commercial architecture. Business often seeks the consultation to ensure that their premises and strategically aligned for the optimal performances. Elements such as the location of the entrances and the arrangement of the workspace are guided by the Vastu principle. These are the principles which we follow in the commercial architecture, and this is the mandala, how they look into the Vastu Shastra. Next comes the modern adaptation of the ancient architecture. Like contemporary architects are increasingly incorporating the ancient Indian architecture styles and the Vastu principle into a modern design. They're just converting the ancient architectural style into a modern design. But there is a uh, existence of the Vastu Shastra. Innovation includes the eco-friendly materials and the sustainable practices that aligns with the traditional philosophy. This fusions of old and new reflects a growing appreciation for the cultural heritage in urban development. The conversion of the Indian architectural style, like the traditional one to the modern one, which will build the cultural heritage in the urban development. Next comes the conclusion and the significance. What we have learned from the far more slides. Ancient Indian architecture and the Vastu Shastra share a deep connection that emphasizes the harmony with the nature. The main basic goal is to build the harmony with the nature. Understanding this concept can lead to a more balanced and fulfilling living and a working environment. And has interest in sustainable and culturally relevant architecture grows, these ancient practices remains relevant today. This is about the Indian ancient architecture. I hope everything is clear. Thank you.